Hello folks, it's the start of a new day, as it were. My first Lease Deals video focusing on deals from leasing.com. Massive thanks, by the way, before we start, a personal thanks from me to all the people that left such lovely comments in the last video. I was a bit taken aback by it, to be honest. Obviously, thanks to leasing.com for, getting on board, and I'm really looking forward to what the future holds. And I think in this video, you'll already see some brilliant deals. And also want to thank my brilliant partners, ALA Insurance, who sponsored today's video, but also sent me their congratulations and wish me all the best. And that means a lot. Little things mean a lot with me. And yeah, really appreciate all the support from everyone. In this one, we're doing electric cars at the start. Everything goes up in price order. So the longer you stay in each section of the video, the more expensive the deals will get. Then we're doing plug-in hybrids. Then we're doing petrol and diesel and standard hybrids. And then finally, I've got a few commercials for you as well. So I'm sticking them all in one video. I'm still not convinced that this is going to be the way I'm going to do it every week. It might be that I end up separating them just so I'm not releasing a very similar video week after week. We'll have to see how it goes. But I'm hoping these will be a little bit snappier than we've seen in the past. I'm certainly going to do my best to waffle a bit less and speed things along a bit more, he says at the end of about a minute's worth of waffle. And one of the immediate challenges I've got is where to put my head. And I think this is probably the best place for it on this particular website. So here we go. Ford Puma Gen-E hatchback. We've already seen this in the video I released the other day. But this one's on 10,000 miles a year. In that video, we were looking at it on 8,000 miles a year. Most of these are going to be 2 or 3 year deals on 10,000 miles a year. This one is indeed a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. No broker fee. 655 quid is the initial rental, and then £218 a month. This is the all-electric Ford Puma Gen-E. It's the select 43 kilowatt hour. That gives you 233 miles of range, 0 to 62 in 8 seconds, 556 litres of boot space. It's a £30,000 car, and you're getting it here for £218 a month with $655 up front. It also shows you the vehicle value, the actual RRP of the car, which is quite interesting. Then you've got all the specs for the car, all the different optional extras. You can't add them on this site, but you can at least see what's available. And then you've got a real breakdown of all the costs. So nice and transparent as well. You've obviously got any broker fees also shown on this first screen. Anyway, this Ford Puma deal is amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. If my Tesla was going back at the moment, I'd consider this. I'm not in love with the car. I'm in love with the price. It's in stock as well, so I would jump on that if you want to get yourself one. GWM Aura 3. This one's the Pure, £228 a month with 684 up front. You've also got broker fee of 354 on that one, so you're looking just over £1,000 up front. This is a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year, 193 miles of range, 228 litres of boot space, 18-inch alloys, 8.3 seconds to 62. Also some good deals around on the GT version of the car at the moment as well. So you might want to give that one some consideration because there might not be too much of a price difference at the time you click. MG4, this one's the Trophy long range, which I think is the sweet spot of the range. It's got absolutely all the spec on it you could possibly want. It's still rear-wheel drive, which is great. Obviously, you can get the X-Power, which is all-wheel drive, and it goes like absolute stink. But this one gives you a great driving experience, in fairness. 270 miles of range, 7.9 seconds to 62, 289 litres of boot space, 788 up front, no broker fee, and 262 a month. And that one's a deal coming from Auto Trader. You will see that with Leasing.com, they're looking at a massive market. Not just brokers, you've also got direct manufacturers, you've got the finance companies themselves, you've even got individual dealerships all putting deals on here. So we are casting the net a bit wider than we have previously. The Leap Motor C10. So this is the one that was stupidly priced not too long ago. We're looking here at a 24-month deal on 10,000 miles a year. 7.5 seconds to 62, 370 litres of boot space, 261 miles of range. That's a £36,500 car that you can have for £268 a month. 804 is the initial payment, and then a £354 broker fee. So you're looking at 1154 up front, 268 a month for a £36,500 car. 2-year lease. I've got no doubt whatsoever that the residual value of this car is going to completely hemorrhage. So you're getting an absolute bargain by leasing that rather than buying it, in my personal opinion. And obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. Cupra Born hatchback, 170 kilowatt e-boost V1. So this one's got the big battery. So it should be, I think it's somewhere in the region of 350 miles of range, 340, something like that. 7.1 seconds to 62, 385 litre boot space, 846 up front. Again, we've got no broker fee. This one's actually coming from a dealership, and 282 a month gets you in that. Very cool little car, obviously based on the ID3, which is what we've got next at £290 a month. This one has got a broker fee, £269, 870 is the upfront payment. And then you've got £290 a month, 350 miles of range. And obviously the specs are extremely similar to the Cupra Born. I would say the VW has a more perhaps conservative styling to it, and a slightly more conservative feel, where the Cupra Born's a bit younger, a bit funkier, dare I say. 290 quid a month though, it's a £40,000 car. Vauxhall Grandland hatchback, this is the ultimate spec, 73 kilowatt hour, it's got the fixed roof, 323 miles of range, 9 seconds to 62, 550 litres of boot space, 20-inch alloys, 24-month deal, 10,000 miles a year on this one. Your total upfront's about 1,250 quid. Then you've got £318 a month, and that's a £40,000 car, just under, thankfully. So it's just avoiding that luxury car tax as long as you don't slap a load of extras onto it. Peugeot E5008 Estate, this is the Allure, 73 kilowatt hour, 7 seats in this one, 310 miles of range, 348 litres of boot space, but that's with all those 7 seats up. So if you put the back row down, you're going to be looking 800 litres plus, 9.7 seconds to 62. It's nearly a 50 grand car, this. That's bananas, isn't it? Delivery within 1 to 2 months on it, 368 a month. You've got £200 broker fee and 1,100 is the upfront. So basically 1,300 upfront, 368 a month. Gets you that big, practical 7-seat family electric SUV with 310 miles of range. Not bad. Hyundai Ioniq 6 Saloon, the premium 77 kilowatt hour. A couple of people have messaged me in the last few days and said they've just had delivery of one of these, or they're just waiting for delivery, because there have been some great deals around lately, and how much they're loving the car. So I can't really add anything more to that other than I absolutely adored this car when I had one. 339 miles of range, 7.4 seconds to 62, 20-inch alloys. It's a glorious thing to drive. It just sweeps along the road. 1,450 up front, including that £354 broker fee, £370 a month. This is a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. And if we go down here and look at the standard equipment list, you'll see that it's long, very long. Absolutely brilliant cars on that 800 volt architecture. So you're getting this super rapid charging, lovely thing to live with, lovely thing to drive. Skoda Enyaq, this is the 85X Sportline, 82 kilowatt hours, the 4x4 version, 399 a month with 1,200 up front, no broker fee on this one. 334 miles of range, 6.7 seconds to 62, 585 litres of boot space. Some people say it's the best EV in the VW Audi group at the moment. I think the ID7's in with a shout for that title as well, but that's my personal opinion. But I'd probably take the Enyaq over the ID4 or the ID5, to be completely honest, because I think it's a good car. 1,200 up front, £400 a month on that one, no broker fee. Looks like a bit of a deal. Genesis GV60, it's the premium version, automatic with the comfort pack. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the outgoing version of the GV60. So it's just had a facelift, which is the reason why it's not £700-800 a month as it has been in the past. It's £444 a month. 1,332 up front, 354 admin fee on it. So you're looking at about 1,700 quid with 444 a month on a 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, 321 miles of range, 7.8 seconds to 62, 432 litres of boot space. It's based on that same 800 volt architecture. So again, it's capable of really crazy rapid charging, really nice long charge curve on them as well. So you get those higher charging speeds for a longer period of time. Really practical thing. If you don't like the Ioniq 5, you think it's too quirky or not you, this is essentially a better looking version, if in some people's eyes, of the same car, and just a wee bit more premium all around. 444 a month with just under 1,700 up front in total. Right, this one, folks, is a Billy bargain. And I'm going to show you two versions of the same car because they're very, very similar, but one of them goes like stink. This one is not slow, 7.1 seconds to 62, 385 miles of range, 526 litres of boot space. It is, of course, the Polestar 4. This is the long-range single motor plus with the pilot pack. £469 a month, £1,750 up front on this one. That is incredible value at the moment, like really, really great value. If you want the really spicy version of it, you can get the long-range dual motor plus with the pilot pack again. Knocks a bit off the range. So the range goes down to 367 miles, but it will do many a supercar at the lights. 3.8 seconds to 62. It is a big car. It's very solidly built. I reviewed one recently on the channel, so go and check that out if you haven't done so already. But it's a very impressive piece of kit. Huge thing. Glorious car. At $1,478 is the initial payment. Then you've got £354 broker fee. And then that one's 493 quid a month, all bar the shouting. I think that offers a bit of value for you. And something else I feel offers a bit of value is gap insurance from ALA Insurance. It just gives you a little bit of peace of mind that if your car is written off, and that could be due to it being stolen, involved in an accident, maybe in a flood or a fire, any of those reasons whatsoever, if your insurance company writes off the car, this is going to make sure you're not left out of pocket. So they'll make it whole again with the lease company, and you can even get a few quid towards your next lease car that I assume will replace the one that's just been written off. So lots of people are going to be going for that Ford Puma deal at the moment. So let's get a quote on that to see what it looks like. It only takes a minute, girl, to fall in love, to fall in love. No, sorry. So list price on that, we're going to say is 30 grand. We don't know the reg number, but we do know that it's a Ford, and we do know that it's electric. And then we're going to put initial rental cover on there. So we'll have up to £1,000 initial rental cover. I think the upfront on that Puma was about £600-700 quid, and the monthly rental on it was £218 a month. Excess contribution up to 250 quid. So that's a contribution towards your car insurance excess. So if the car is written off, obviously you're going to have to pay your insurance excess. They'll give you 250 quid towards it. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to put in the code Jim10, and that's going to make it £152 for 3 years of cover. That's not £150 per month or per year. That's £150 for 3 years cover. So very important to get that point across. Jim10 at checkout saves you 10%. You can do it all online, or you can give ALA a call on 1653 916 304. They don't have commission salespeople. They have customer service agents. And there's a very distinct difference between them. Family run business, brilliant people to deal with. Go and check them out. On to the plug-in hybrids, and we're starting off with the MG HS. This one's the 1.5 TGDI plug-in hybrid. It's the SE model of the car. You're looking in the region of 1,100 quid up front, including the admin fee, £290 a month on a 24-month, 10,000 mile a year deal. Very low CO2 emissions on this, 6.8 seconds to 62, 507 litres of boot space. I'm going to suggest to the guys at leasing.com that they put the all-electric range in rather than the MPG figure on these plug-in hybrids, if that's at all possible. If you've got any kind of suggestions, by the way, for the leasing.com site that you feel may improve it in some way, drop them in the comments of this video, because the folks at leasing.com will be looking for them, and they feel that my audience has probably got some really good, relevant comments. So if you do have anything constructive to say, stick it in the comments and they'll have a read of it, I'm sure. £290 a month and about 1,100 quid up front. Then we've got the JQ7. This is the super hybrid system. If you haven't seen that yet, go and check out my video on the Emoda 9, which is using the same system. It's pretty bonkers, really. It's a plug-in hybrid that you actually don't have to plug in. You, of course, can, and it'll be more efficient and more cost-effective if you can, but you don't have to. And it will just keep charging itself. And you can get some really decent real-world MPG from it, actually. So this one's got 500 litres of boot space, 8.5 seconds to 62. It's been a massive success so far. The Chery Group that owns JQ and Emoda have already taken over 2.5% of the market in the UK, which is pretty astounding. And this car is really a massive part of why. You're seeing a lot of them on the road now. It does seem like a decent piece of kit. I've got one in for a proper review in a couple of weeks, actually, so I'm looking forward to that. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. You're looking at a total of about 1,300 quid up front and 360 a month on that one. Cupra Formentor. This one is the e-hybrid 204 V2 DSG. V2 is quite a nice place to be on a Cupra. It's got all the things most people want and not too many of the things that most people don't. 7.9 seconds to 62, 345 litres of boot space. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, and you're looking at about 1,450 up front on this. 364 a month, all bar the shouting. That's a 44,000 pound car. So that looks like it's delivering a bit of value. Great looking thing as well, and a lovely car to drive. Audi A3 Sportback, the good old A3. This one's the plug-in hybrid, of course, because it's in this section of the video. Now, these have got a claimed all-electric range of like 88 miles. So even in the real world, you're probably going to get 75 or something from that, which is mightily impressive. And it makes a plug-in hybrid probably a bit more of a no-brainer for a lot of people than they have been in the past. Now, the previous version of this car was like 33 miles or 35 miles of all-electric range. Once that gets to over 80, it becomes a different proposition all of a sudden. 383 quid a month, 1450 up front, 0-62 in 7.4. Only a 280 litre boot though, so you lose a little bit of boot space over the standard petrol version of the car or diesel version. But if you can charge from home, you can get a very cheap commute from that car. Looks like a decent price at the moment. Cupra Terramar hatchback, again plug-in hybrid V2 DSG automatic, 8.3 seconds to 62, 400 litres of boot space. This again is a 3-year 10,000 mile a year deal, 400 quid a month with 1,550 up front. That includes a £350 admin fee from the broker, and that combined with the initial rental is going to be about 1,550 up front, 400 quid a month. Looks like a bargain, as does this, because these have been like well over 800 quid a month. It's the Audi A5 Avant, so it's the A5 estate basically, but it's the plug-in hybrid. They've got 361 litres of boot space, which sounds a bit pants for an estate, but a lot of it's down to where they measure the boot space from. I know in Tesla they go to like the roof or something, where a lot of cars they go to the parcel shelf, and in this one, because of the batteries, you lose the underfloor storage in the boot. So if you regularly use the underfloor storage, you might find this a bit of a compromise. If you don't use it so much, maybe you're not too bothered. 544 a month and about 2 grand up front at 5.9 seconds to 62. Beautiful car to drive with absolutely bags of power. Next, we've got the BMW 5 Series, the 530e M Sport, £572 a month. Again, just under 2 grand up front. 520 litres of boot space, 6.3 seconds to 62. Crazy MPG figures quoted as always on these plug-in hybrids. It's the M Sport, so it's a really nice trim level, and you've got delivery within the next couple of months. Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid. It's the T8 Ultra Bright with the Geartronic, all-wheel drive, 468 litres of boot space, 4.9 seconds to 62. It's the big daddy, really. Only 600 quid a month on this. I'm saying only 600 quid a month, like that's not a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money compared to where this has been in the past. I've seen this at over £800 a month. You're looking at about 2,100, 2,070 actually up front, including the broker fee, and then £600 a month, and it gets you in this monstrous plug-in hybrid. The Jeep Grand Cherokee is next. That's something I've been struggling to say for the last 3 minutes. 2-litre turbo, 4-wheel drive, plug-in hybrid, 6.3 seconds to 62, 533 litres of boot space, It's an absolute monster of a vehicle. I think they've got a lot of presence about them, and I'd take one of those any day of the week over a lot of the more popular SUVs. $673 a month with about 2,300 in total up front. And just to give it some context, that's a £72,000 car if you were to go and buy one. Right, folks, now we're on to the petrols and diesels. We've got the Hyundai i20. This one's got the automatic gearbox. Brilliant little car. I think it's a worthy successor to the Ford Fiesta. I think it's better than the last Fiesta. 52 mpg, 12.1 seconds to 62, 352 litres of boot space, £232 a month and $698 up front. There's no broker fee on this one. It's coming direct from a dealership. $232 a month with $698 up front. That's a £24,000 car. We've then got the Nissan Qashqai 1.3 Digi mild hybrid end connector with the glass roof. 44 mpg, 10.2 seconds to 62, 479 litres of boot space, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, just over £1,000 in total up front and $267 a month on that one. One of the most popular cars in the UK, and it is for a reason, really. We saw the electric version of the Puma. It's actually a better price than this, quite a bit better than this. But in fact, this one's come down quite a lot as well. This is the standard hybrid, so it's not a plug-in. It's your standard petrol. It's the 1 litre EcoBoost ST line trim. 9.8 seconds to 62, 456 litres of boot space. We're looking at 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, with about 1,066 up front and £268 a month. As a reminder, if you're on the fence, you can get the electric one for quite a bit less at the moment. So just putting that out there in case you missed it. Hyundai Kona hatchback, 1.6 hybrid 129 Advance with the automatic gearbox. 12 seconds to 62, so it's not the quickest thing in the world, but Kona's not a car you're going to take around the Nürburgring, is it? 466 litres of boot space, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. We're looking at about £1,000 up front in total on this one and $272 a month, which looks like a lot of value on what is a fantastic little car, really. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. If you want a tow or you've got 3 kids in car seats, this is probably one of the better cars to go for in the video because, for one thing, it's a diesel, which is pretty important if you're towing. It's the max edition of the Citroen C5 Aircross, 10.6 seconds to 62, 45 mpg, 720 litres of boot space, which is gargantuan. And perhaps most importantly, for those of you with kids, you can get 3 car seats in the back there, or 2 car seats and an adult without, World War III breaking out or someone losing their ribs. You're looking at about $1,200 up front and $291 a month on a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. It's not exciting, but it's sensible. Seen a lot of the new Grandland out on the roads, the 1.2 hybrid 145 GS with the automatic gearbox, 50 mpg, 10.2 seconds to 62, 550 litres of boot space. Is a petrol, of course. This one's a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. You're looking at about $1,150 up front and $295 a month on that Grandland. Again, it looks like good value. This is essentially the same car with a different lid on it. It's the Peugeot 3008 Estate. I don't think there's a massive amount between them, to be honest. You're looking at about 1,250 quid up front and $329 a month on this. But this one's a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. If you haven't sat in a Peugeot for a long time, you'll find quite a bit nicer interior than you may have done 10 years ago, for example. And to be fair, it's a very nice car to drive. I say anything with these 1.2 engines, despite the fact that they've changed out one of the wet belts for a chain now, they're better to lease and have under full manufacturer's warranty than they perhaps are as a buy, because history tells us that some of them age a little bit like unrefrigerated milk. Next, we've got the VW T-Roc hatchback. This one's a factory order. What I would say on this one is when you make your inquiry, which I hope you'll do using my link, which is in the video description and popping up on the screen as a QR code. When you make the inquiry, just ask if it's the new one or the current one, because the current one is about to come to the end of its life. And there's a brand new model that was announced a few days ago, which there's a video about on my channel, which you can go and check out. It might not be important to you, but it's worth asking the question because you could get quite a different car depending on the answer. It's the 1.5 TSI Black Edition Plus. The initial rentals are grand, then it's £270 broker fee, £333 a month on a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. These are incredibly popular cars. 445 litres of boot space, 8.4 seconds to 62, 45 mpg in that little bad boy. And even if it is the old one, I think it's a decent looking little car. The new one does look great though, I have to say. Nissan X-Trail Station Wagon. There you go, station wagon. This is the 7-seat version of the X-Trail. It's got the Xtronic automatic gearbox as well. 40 mpg, 9.6 seconds to 62, 485 litres of boot space. Way better than the outgoing X-Trail, and I actually didn't mind that. But this new one really feels like it's taken a quantum leap in terms of the quality. 1,300 quid up front combined, and then £343 a month. Looks like a steal on that. That, of course, is a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Obviously, we saw the plug-in hybrid version of the A5 Avant earlier. We've got the petrol version here, 41 mpg, 9.8 seconds to 62, 476 litres of boot space, 446 a month with about 1650 up front combined. It's the 2-litre TFSI, 150 horsepower S-Line. So S-Line's a nice trim level on Audi. You've got the S-Tronic automatic gearbox. A lot of great reasons to consider that one. It's a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Then got the BMW 1 Series, and this is the spicy little number. It's the M135 X-Drive, which is the one I would go for if I had the budget because it's bloody brilliant. Steptronic automatic, just under £500 a month and just under £1,500 a month as the initial rental. This one's direct from a dealer, so there's no broker fee on it. 380 litres of boot space, a very spicy 4.9 seconds to 62, and it should deliver 37 mpg, which is not too shabby. Again, the new BMW 1 Series feels very well sorted, very nice car to drive, and the M135 X-Drive, I think, is the absolute pick of the bunch. It's a corker. More or less 1,500 up front and more or less 500 quid a month, 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. On to the commercials, and with the commercials, they're excluding VAT, these prices. The thinking being that most people getting one of these are going to be VAT registered. The KGM Musso double cab pickup, I think it's as good a pickup truck as you can get at the moment. Had one of these in for review. I had the Isuzu D-Max shortly thereafter. I've actually got the new D-Max coming quite soon. I preferred the Musso out of the two. Controversial, I know, but I just thought it was great. And you don't have some of the reliability issues that the Ford Ranger is quite well known for. So 938 plus VAT is the initial rental, 295 quid's the broker fee, and then 312 a month. This is a 24-month deal on 8,000 miles a year. Bit odd, but that's all that's offered on this particular deal. If you did want to go for higher mileage, which probably a lot of you would, I would suggest you get in touch with the broker, either click the get a quote button or call the broker and just chat through that with them, because I'm sure there'll be some other mileage options available. They just don't happen to be published on the site at the moment. Right, this one is an absolute bargain. It's the VW ID Buzz, 79 kilowatt hour, delivery within 3 to 6 months on this one, £321 a month. Then you've got 963 as the initial rental and a £295 broker fee, 278 miles of range, 7.9 seconds to 62. It's my favourite van. I think they look the business and I think they drive great. They drive very much like the standard ID Buzz, which is a lovely thing. It's very car-like for something where you've got such an upright van-like position, but it's a great thing to drive. I love the ID Buzz Cargo. If I had any reason whatsoever for a van in my life, it would be this one at the moment. So roughly 1,300 quid up front, 321 a month on a 24-month, 10,000 mile a year deal. And we can't look at van deals without looking at a good old diesel Transit, can we? It's the 2-litre EcoBoost, 110 PS, H1 Trend, 39 mpg, 17.2 seconds to 62. So again, not one for the Nürburgring. But it's a Transit. everyone knows what they're getting with a Transit, and it's 340 quid a month for a brand new one with a grand up front. Factory order on that one though, so you might have a little bit of a wait. This one is coming direct from Ford, so there's no admin fee. I would suggest when you get a quote, just ask for some sort of idea of delivery times and things and see if that suits your needs. Folks, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. A link to ALA Insurance is in the video description. Don't forget to use that code JIM10 if you want to save yourself 10%. And massive thanks to Leasing.com for kind of believing in what I do and for having access to such a massive part of the market. This is the first of many. The format may change as things go on. I'll just see what works and kind of what doesn't, and we'll take it from there, really. As I said, any feedback you've got on the leasing.com website, stick it in the comments, make it constructive. You know, if you don't like something, tell us why and what you'd like to see changed about it. And once again, a really massive personal thanks from me for all those really nice comments the other day. It really did put a smile on my face. Thanks ever so much, folks. See you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.